Our video explores how Athens rose to dominance during the classical period by uniting military power with deep religious devotion to Athena. We examine how military service shaped citizenship, how naval strength allowed Athens to project authority across the Aegean, and how the city used the Persian Wars to form the Delian League, an alliance that soon became the Athenian Empire. Through this combination of force, wealth, and faith in their patron goddess, the Athenians developed a unique cultural identity that defined their society at its height.
The story starts after the Greeks defeated the Persians in the 5th century BCE. To keep the Persian threat contained, many city-states formed a defense alliance called the Delian League in 478 BCE. Athens, with its massive navy, took the lead. The league was supposed to be an alliance of equals, but it quickly turned into an Athenian empire. Athens forced members to pay huge amounts of money, or tribute, which went straight into the Athenian treasury. This flood of money changed everything for Athens. It paid for the navy, funded public works, and most famously, built the magnificent temples on the Acropolis, like the Parthenon. This wealth, gained through military force and exploitation, allowed the city's population to prosper and shape the core of their cultural identity.
As one might guess, the patron deity of Athens is the goddess Athena, who is associated with wisdom, war, and the crafts. Her shrines were typically built on fortified hilltop citadels above settlements, as it was believed that her presence ensured security during times of war. For example, during the Persian War, she was invoked as a protector and bringer of victory against external threats, a sentiment reflected in art, rituals, and symbolized by structures like the Parthenon. The Athenians simply referred to her as the goddess without directly mentioning her name, and worshipped her via prayer, meditation, giving various offerings at altars such as olive oil, woven baskets, homemade artwork, baked goods, flowers, and owl figurines. But to the Athenians, what was arguably the most important event for showing their devotion to Athena was the Panentheic festival. The festival was a major religious and athletic celebration in ancient Athens, performed both annually as a smaller event and every 4 years as a massive festival. It featured a grand procession to the Acropolis to present a new golden robe for Athena's 40-foot statue. The festival also featured several athletic competitions, including running, wrestling, boxing, and equestrian events. Musical performances and a large-scale sacrifice and a feast were also part of the festival. The festival served to showcase not only the city's devotion to Athena, but also the cultural achievements of the Athenians.
A core part of Athenian identity was military service with the ability to serve, defining citizenship and granting the right to participate in government. Every male citizen was expected to serve as a soldier when needed, and their worth as a soldier depended on their capability to defend the polis against a hostile threat. As a hoplite warrior, an Athenian may face many trials and tribulations during the brutality of war and to simply survive, let alone emerge victorious. They needed to be at their best. Through intense combat training with a heavy focus on fighting in a phalanx formation and a cultural emphasis of extensive athletic exercise, they prepared themselves to face enemy soldiers while maintaining a strong defensive stance. An even greater factor in Athens' military might was their navy. Their fleet of triumphs played a large role in driving back the invading armies during the Persian War, and after the conflict, the fleet gave Athens the power to intimidate and extort wealth from the polis across Greece. Their ships were designed for speed and agility, with bronze ram at the bow for naval tactics like ramming. The navy was crewed largely by Athens' poorest citizens, who over time became professional, highly trained force. These experienced sailors gave Athens a significant advantage over their less professional rivals. Athens' navy was crucial for victory in battles like Battle of Salamis against the Persians and the Battle of Arginsoe against Sparta. Through its defeat at the Battle of Agostomi was a decisive factor in their loss of the Peloponnesian War. The navy was essential for securing vital sea lanes, projecting power, and winning major engagements that determined the course of conflicts.
Athens reached its height through the combined force of military power, religious devotion, and the wealth of its empire. Naval dominance and the duties of military service shaped citizenship and allowed Athens to control the Delian League, while the worship of Athena gave the city a unifying sense of purpose and divine favor. Festivals, temples, and daily rituals honored the goddess, who symbolized their ideals, and imperial tribute funded the cultural achievements that defined the classical era. Together, war and religion formed the core of Athenian identity, and left a legacy that still defines how we view ancient Greece today.